They try to provoke you, to get under your skin, to make you react. But you don't. You remain still, unmoved, unshaken. Because you understand something they don't. The real power isn't in controlling others. It's in mastering yourself. Most people are slaves to their emotions, reacting without thinking, losing control over things they can't change. But not you. You've seen how the world works, how people let anger, fear, and insecurity dictate their every move, how they lash out, overreact, and let external forces shape their reality. But you refuse to be like them. Because today, you'll learn how to develop the Stoic mindset, a mindset so strong that no insult, no rejection, no setback can shake you. The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, knew the secret to emotional control. And today, we're bringing that secret back. I'll show you how to stay calm in chaos, how to break free from emotional reactions, and how to become truly untouchable. If you're ready to unlock the power of Stoicism and build an unbreakable mindset, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and let's begin. What makes people emotionally weak? Why do so many crumble under pressure, lash out when triggered, or break down when things don't go their way? It all comes down to control, or rather, the illusion of control. Most people live under the false belief that they can control everything: their relationships, their circumstances, how others treat them. They build their expectations around this illusion, convincing themselves that if they just try hard enough, things will always work out in their favor. But when reality doesn't match their expectations, they suffer. They get angry when someone disrespects them. They feel betrayed when life doesn't reward their efforts. They spiral into frustration, anxiety, and self-doubt, all because they believed they had control when in fact they never did. But the Stoic mindset is different. The Stoics understood one truth that changed everything. There are only two things in life: what you can control and what you cannot. Marcus Aurelius said it best: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about that for a second. You have power over your mind, not outside events. This means that no matter what happens to you, no matter how unfair, frustrating, or painful, it's not the event that defines you, it's your response to it. But here's the problem. Most people spend their entire lives trying to control things that are completely outside their power. They stress over what people think of them. They obsess over past mistakes. They try to force others to see their worth, to change, to act a certain way. They waste time over-analyzing situations, worrying about things they cannot influence. But none of that is within their control, and every time they fight against reality, they set themselves up for endless frustration. Picture this: you're caught in a storm, the winds are howling, the rain is pouring, and you're standing there, screaming at the sky to stop. But no matter how loud you yell, no matter how angry you get, the storm doesn't care. It will keep raging on, completely unaffected by your emotions. This is how most people live their lives, fighting the storm instead of adapting to it. They react emotionally to things beyond their control, allowing outside forces to dictate how they feel. They let insults, disappointments, and rejection shake their confidence. They live in a state of constant reaction instead of calm control. But the moment you let go of this illusion, the moment you stop wasting energy on things outside your control, you become powerful in a way most people will never understand. When you shift your focus inward, to mastering your own thoughts, emotions, and reactions, that's when you become truly untouchable. Imagine being in a chaotic situation where everyone around you is losing their minds. People are panicking, emotions are running high, and yet you remain still, unshaken. You observe, you think, you decide. You are in control of yourself. This is the first step to an unbreakable mindset. Stop trying to control the external world. Master yourself instead. The world will always be chaotic. People will always be unpredictable. But a Stoic chooses how to respond. They don't waste energy on what they can't change. They focus only on what's within their control, their mindset, their actions, their discipline. And when you learn to do this, something incredible happens. You stop reacting. You stop stressing over things that don't matter. You stop allowing outside forces to dictate your peace of mind. You become the storm instead of fearing it. But knowing this isn't enough. You need a framework to apply it. And that's where Stoicism gives us the 3 pillars of an unbreakable mindset. There are 3 core Stoic principles that make you emotionally unbreakable. Master these, and no one will ever control your emotions again. 1. The Dichotomy of Control. Focus only on what you can change. The first rule of emotional mastery is simple. Separate what you can control from what you cannot. What's the weather? Out of your control. Other people's opinions? Out of your control. How someone treats you? Out of your control. But your response? Your mindset? That's always within your control. This single shift in thinking changes everything. Most people waste time fighting reality, getting frustrated over things beyond their influence. But the Stoic? They don't fight. They adapt. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about it. Most of your stress, frustration, and anxiety don't come from what actually happens, but from how you interpret what happens. You replay conversations in your head, overanalyze situations, and stress over things you can't change. But when you learn to let go of what's beyond your control, you unlock a level of freedom most people will never experience. Next time something frustrates you, ask yourself this: can I control this? If the answer is no, then let it go. If the answer is yes, then take action. This is the key difference between the average person and the Stoic. The average person reacts emotionally to everything. The Stoic filters their reactions and only invests energy where it truly matters. The moment you start applying this principle, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. Problems that used to stress you out, they don't bother you as much. People that used to get under your skin, they lose their power over you. But to stay truly untouchable, you need to go even deeper. You need to train yourself to expect adversity. 2. Negative visualization. Expect the worst. Stay unshaken. The Stoics practiced something called negative visualization, the art of mentally preparing for the worst before it happens. Most people hope for the best, and when things go wrong, they fall apart. But the Stoic? They prepare for the worst, so that when adversity arrives, they're already ready for it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Begin each day by telling yourself, 'Today I shall meet interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness.'" He didn't say, "Maybe these things will happen." He said, "Expect them to happen." And because he expected resistance, he was never caught off guard. Imagine two warriors preparing for battle. One assumes everything will go smoothly. The other prepares for every possible obstacle, ambushes, setbacks, betrayal. When chaos strikes, the first warrior panics. The second, he remains calm. This is why most people break under pressure. They assume things will go their way. They expect people to always be kind. They expect success to come easily. They expect life to be fair. And when life doesn't match their expectations, they break. But a Stoic doesn't expect life to be easy. They expect difficulty. And when you expect difficulty, nothing surprises you. Nothing shakes you. You remain unbreakable. This is how you develop the ability to handle rejection, failure, and criticism without losing control. You train yourself to expect obstacles, so when they come, they don't feel like a shock. They feel like part of the game. But even with preparation, emotions will still arise. That's why the final pillar is the most powerful. 3. Objective thinking. Detach from emotion. See reality clearly. Most people don't think, they react. They get insulted and they take it personally. They get rejected and they spiral into self-doubt. They face failure and they convince themselves they're not good enough. But the Stoic does something different. They step back, they detach. They observe their emotions without being controlled by them. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about it. The event itself is neutral. Your interpretation is what gives it power. A Stoic sees an insult, and instead of getting offended, they ask, "Is this actually true?" They experience failure, and instead of breaking down, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" They face rejection, and instead of feeling unworthy, they ask, "Was this really meant for me?" This is the secret to controlling emotions. Observation over reaction. Imagine you're standing in a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring, and most people are running for cover. But you stand still, watching it all, unaffected. That's what happens when you master objective thinking. You no longer identify with your emotions, you simply observe them. And when you observe instead of react, you reclaim control. Next time you feel triggered, pause. Ask yourself, is this emotion useful? Will this matter in a year? Am I letting my emotions control me? When you do this, you realize most emotional reactions are temporary illusions, and the moment you stop feeding them, they disappear. This is the final step to emotional mastery. When you separate emotion from reality, you make decisions based on logic, not impulse. So now the question is, how do you apply all of this in real life? Now that you understand the Stoic mindset, here's how to apply it in your daily life, so that you don't just know Stoicism, but you live it. Because knowledge alone is useless unless it's put into action. True Stoicism isn't about memorizing quotes. It's about making small, consistent changes every day, until emotional mastery becomes second nature. Step 1. The morning mindset shift. The way you start your day determines how you handle everything that happens next. Most people wake up and immediately check their phone, letting external distractions control their mind before they even get out of bed. But a Stoic starts the day with intention. Before you check messages, before you engage with the world, take 1 minute to ground yourself in Stoic principles. Ask yourself, what is outside of my control today? What challenges might I face, and how will I handle them? What kind of person do I choose to be today? Marcus Aurelius practiced this every morning. He expected obstacles before they came, so nothing ever surprised him. Imagine starting your day this way. Instead of reacting emotionally to situations, you're already prepared. Instead of being thrown off by negativity, you remain grounded in your own principles. And if something goes wrong, instead of frustration, you remind yourself, this was always part of the plan. But even with preparation, challenges will come. That's where the next step becomes essential. Step 2. The pause technique. Master your emotional reactions. No matter how strong your mindset is in the morning, you will face triggers throughout the day. Someone will insult you. You'll get stuck in traffic. Unexpected problems will arise. And this is where most people fail, because they react instantly without thinking. But a Stoic, they master the pause technique. The next time something triggers you, don't react. Instead, pause. Take a deep breath. Observe the emotion, but don't act on it. Epictetus taught this exact method. It's not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Think about it. Anger, frustration, and anxiety only control you if you act on them. But when you pause before reacting, you regain control. You choose your response instead of letting emotions dictate your actions. Imagine someone insults you. Your old self would get defensive, react emotionally, maybe even say something you'd regret. But your Stoic self pauses, steps back and asks, does this insult actually affect me, or is it just their opinion? And just like that, you remain untouched. But mastering the moment isn't enough. To truly level up, you need to reflect at the end of each day. Step 3. The end-of-day reflection. Sharpen your mindset daily. The most powerful Stoic practice happens at the end of the day. Because true growth doesn't come from experience alone. It comes from reflecting on that experience. Before bed, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I handle well today? Where did I let emotions control me? How can I improve tomorrow? Seneca practiced this every night. He would review the events of the day and ask, did I react as a Stoic should? Or did I let external things control me? This practice is simple, but life-changing. Most people repeat the same mistakes because they never take time to analyze them. But when you reflect daily, you learn from every experience, and you get 1% better every day. Imagine how powerful you'd become if every night you fine-tuned your emotional control. In a week, you'd notice less reactivity. In a month, you'd feel calmer under pressure. In a year, you'd be unrecognizable. But there's one more thing you need to understand, and it's the final lesson of Stoicism. Control your mind, and you control your destiny. This is the essence of Stoicism, the ability to stay calm in any situation, to never be shaken by external events, to become truly untouchable. But let's be real. Most people will never reach this level of control. They will continue to react emotionally. They will let small inconveniences ruin their day. They will be controlled by the opinions of others. But you're different. You're here because you refuse to live like that. You're here because you want to master yourself, to rise above your emotions, your impulses, and the chaos around you. And if you've made it this far, you already have something most people don't: awareness. Because awareness is the first step to transformation. The final shift, from awareness to mastery. But awareness alone isn't enough. Most people learn about Stoicism, get inspired for a moment, and then go right back to their old habits. They know they should control their emotions, but they still get triggered. They know they shouldn't seek validation, but they still crave approval. They know they should stay calm under pressure, but they still break down when things go wrong. Why? Because they haven't committed. Stoicism isn't something you try. It's something you live. You don't become emotionally untouchable just by watching videos. You become untouchable by applying these principles every single day. And that's where your real challenge begins. The challenge: commit to the Stoic path. If you truly want to develop an unshakable mindset, start today. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, follow these Stoic practices. Every morning, remind yourself, I control my mind, not external events. Every time something triggers you, pause. Take a deep breath before reacting. Every night, reflect. Where did I let emotions control me? How can I improve? Most people won't do this. Most people will just consume content, feel motivated, and then forget about it. But if you actually apply these steps, something will shift inside you. You will notice yourself staying calm when others lose control. You will feel stronger, more disciplined, more in control of your life. You will start to embody what it truly means to be stoic. But this is just the beginning. There's one more lesson you need to master. The next step: turning setbacks into power. The Stoics didn't just stay calm in adversity, they used it to become stronger. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that every challenge, every obstacle, every setback, it's not there to stop you, it's there to shape you, to refine you, to make you better. In the next video, I'll show you exactly how to use Stoic strategies to turn every setback into power. So, if you're serious about building an unbreakable mindset, subscribe now. And if you're truly committed to mastering your emotions, leave a comment. I control my emotions. Because the moment you declare it is the moment you start living it.